edition of the business trade fair. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this exciting business trade fair. I'm your host today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this exciting business trade fair. I am your host, Chakunda Mshawelu, and I'm delighted to have you here all today. Your presence is a testament to the importance of this gathering, and I'm honored to be part of it. I would like to acknowledge our guests and partners. I would like to extend a warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to the esteemed exhibitors and sponsors. Your participation and support makes this event possible, and we really appreciate your contributions. To the dedicated organizing team, your hard work and commitment have brought this trade show to life, and we're grateful for your efforts. The distinguished guests and industry leaders, your presence and insights are invaluable, and we are thrilled to have you with us. So for today's agenda, allow me to spare it down. So we have an engaging program lined up for you, featuring keynote speakers, product showcases, and networking opportunities. Take this chance to learn, connect, and explore the future of our industry. I would like to encourage all participants to actively participate in all sessions, ask questions, and share your thoughts. Your engagement to make this event truly enriching for everyone. Let's make the most of this opportunity to learn, connect, and grow together. Without further ado, let's start our first session. Our first session for our first keynote speaker, this will be Elder Ronald Mautsa. Allow me to read the... Mr. Elder Mautsa is a passionate entrepreneur. Ronald is the founder and managing director of Tafron Technologies, which is an ICT company. Founder and managing director of the First Expert Solutions, board chairman of Institute of Entrepreneurs, Zimbabwe. He is also a holder in the Master of Science in Information Systems Management, Bachelor of Science Honors degree in Information Systems, Cisco Certified Network Associate, in brackets CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate Security, CCNAS, and Certified Ethical Hacker, the Certified Project Management Professional, PMP, Diploma in Biblical Studies and Christian Leadership, Africa Multination for Christ College Entrepreneurship, Master Coach. So at this time, please join me in welcoming our first keynote speaker, Elder Ronald Mautsa.
Thank you so much. You may remain seated. I'm so much humbled. I'd like to appreciate the invitation. For me, it is an honor to be standing before you to speak. Just being a speaker, it's not an easy thing. Like some of us, we speak nearly every other day, but whenever you're given an assignment, you want to be the best for the audience. But I'd like to thank God I'd like to greet all leadership for the UTGF. I want to thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so much excited to be one of your presenters. When I saw the invitation, especially the poster, I was so much excited. I saw opportunities of networking and opportunities of developing. And maybe would I know, just a minute. All right, thank you so much. So I was just checking on time since we moved. I wanted to see whether we're still in the same hour that we've been given. I would have loved to do projection, but I think I would try to. I was talking to the chairman to say some of us, we are used to speaking from the heart, and at times projections. Yes, we'll give you the notes, but at times you want to speak things that are practical, that you are living every other day. But I want to appreciate, I saw my reverend here. I thank God we met in Chekudu when I was also being a speaker at Deeper Life. And I also thank God for Dr. Nigel Chanakira, who is here. I feel humbled to be speaking in front of him. At one point in time, he came into my house, I think a few years ago. And I remember he still remembers me. For me, these are the people that want to look at their footsteps and learn a lot of things. I was telling him, I always see his posts. You know, social media, I'm going to include it. I'm in the ICT space, so I think I will try to speak more of what is IT, what it can do for us. Maybe before we start, how many of us are undergrads? So that I also know what to, and postgraduates, entrepreneurs. Okay. Yeah, you also want to be relevant. You don't want to the wrong platforms. So when you're a speaker, you should learn to adjust the message, and that's why I'm saying I wanted to know what exactly to say and what is it that is important. I did my first degree at MSU. I know we've got undergraduates, you need to understand this. I did it, that was 2003. And back then, I remember that's when I started being an entrepreneur. I was running a tuck shop and sponsoring my own self. I remember my first pocket money when I went to university. I used it to buy my boot, to sell. So the exciting thing about it was, I would put my pack of my boot in my friends' rooms, and at the end of the day, I would go around and be collecting money. My role was just to put stickers, directing people, there's my boot, there's my boot. That's how I would make money. And I remember, it came a time when I would say, when I asked for pocket money, it was not because I really needed it, but I would say, it's their responsibility as my parents to give me the money, and also ultimately I will use that money to boost my business. I would request money not to eat, but to boost my business. So I remember then, that was the time. I never struggled when I was at university. That's what I can say. But it was a situation where we would say, everyone knows how college life is like. Everyone cries to say there's no money. But I would see opportunities. I remember the other time when others are going to lecture rooms, I'll be getting a combi to go and buy my stocks. But I had the same too, 1 degree plus that everyone would have. Those ones who will spend the time. So there are a lot of lessons that I learned from there. So I'm going to concentrate on my today's presentation. I thought I would need to give a background of where I'm coming from. Then Tafron Technologies was actually registered 2006, just after my university, when I was just finished my degree in 2005 December. 2006 May, I registered Tafron Technologies, worked for Exit Solutions, worked for this NGO, but by then I started trading. And other businesses were registered thereafter. But what is critical, maybe to understand, to see is, there's no time that is right to start business, but it's now. And I know some people would want to say the economy is not right. I remember my professor who taught me strategic management would say, all circumstances or environment or situations in business that they are given. And so there's no excuse for you to say, I cannot make it because the economy is bad. There's no reason for someone to then say, because the currency, whatever, there's inflation in Zimbabwe, so I cannot make it. So all those factors are given in business. So we are all going to be falling or to be found in any of those categories or problems that we want to think of. So it's very important to then see that you don't need to give excuses in everything that you are doing. So I'm going to concentrate on what I called the 5 pillars of modern digital business. I'm going to concentrate on I know we've got gurus in business here who are going to give you notes on business, how to run a business, how to be a successful entrepreneur. I'm here also to learn from what they are going to say. But I'm going to dive more on the digital space as an ICT person. Digital transformation, so the introduction is the 5 pillars of digital business transformation. I will explain digital transformation being shifting operations, culture, and customer engagement through technology. You want to appreciate that back then, I was privileged to say 1997, when I was doing my Form 1, I think that was 1997, I chose to do computers. So from then, I've been doing computers. So how many years now? So, but by that time, computers were just being done by the elite. For those people, like I remember you count schools were offering computers. And at that point in time also, you were also screened to say when you fail computers, you are put in another, like agriculture or whatever. It was considered as a practical subject. So that was how computers were less important in that period in time. But this age in time is a different game altogether. It would be a taboo for you to say, I have done computers, so you want to boast. It's no longer the issue. Things have escalated to another level. So it is very important to appreciate that ICT today is no longer just for business, those who are in business. When you do a requisition for a laptop, for a technology, something that is technology, it is considered as a cost center. But it is the time for us to now shift our minds to see the opportunities that are lying in the use of ICT or technology, how it can give us, how we can benefit better when you acquire technology. Why these 5 pillars? I will mention them. I will talk about artificial intelligence. This powers intelligent automation. So first pillar is artificial intelligence. Number 2, I'm going to talk about cloud computing. This delivers agility and scale. I will explain better as we go. I will talk about data analytics when time allows. This uncovers hidden insights. I will also talk about social media. I think this we are all familiar with. Back then, I remember when you were found on Facebook, you were considered as one of those weak people in church, not holy. But Facebook is now becoming one of the tools, social media platform that people are making money using. And excitingly, I remember, like you heard, I'm a certified ethical hacker. Those are some of the things that you on a firewall, on entry level, you want to block people, size people to say these people are not supposed to go on Facebook because it was considered it was not ethical, it was not a good site to access. But today, that's a business too. So that's why I'm saying technology has moved to that level that we want to see it and grasp to say, how can we make or leverage on technology to make money? So we're going to talk about social media. Lastly, I'm going to talk about cybersecurity. I will have not done justice to this topic to say, all after it has been said and done, are we secure? Are you secure with the information that you are posting? Are you secure with your device? So this is my specialization at work. I'm more interested in cybersecurity. I'm more inclined in making sure that people are secure. We have moved the business to another level to say, in as much as people are secured in terms of digital, there's also that robber who can access your intruder, that can access your house. So you find that we also, you see us doing CCTVs, you also see us doing alarm systems, gate monitors, all to try to make sure that we protect a humankind and also your businesses. So artificial intelligence, it can then be defined as the use of technology or computers to replace the human intelligence. That's all about artificial intelligence. Excitingly about artificial intelligence, I know most people think that that's the in thing. It's a new technology. I did a module called Artificial Intelligence in 2003 at MSU. Imagine, that's 22 years ago. But we are now starting to be excited about those who did computers. I think this you should know. I'm not trying to say something that is not happening. It was 2 years ago, 2 years I know, so we're talking of 10 years ago, artificial intelligence was already existing. But we take time to do adoption. And the beauty about what is happening now with artificial intelligence is now the real artificial intelligence. And the level that it is at now is not, if you ignore it, if you decide to say, no, this is technology, it's very expensive, some of us are going to lose opportunities. Some of us are going to be found obsolete. So I will try to talk about core capabilities of artificial intelligence. Like we've just said, artificial intelligence is about, you are going to be replaced by a computer. That's what we are trying to say. So there are two things. Either you are going to be frightened or you are going to be excited about it. So you need to choose to be excited or to be frightened and go down or disappear. Why am I saying so? There are a lot of people who are going to be, because, okay, a human being has got its own weaknesses. You need food. You get tired. As I'm saying already, I feel, I'm already starting to be tired. But if you're going to put a computer here, it speaks until cows come home. But we are saying, this is how computers are going to overtake us if we are going not to adopt. So my message to most of us is, let's adopt artificial intelligence at whatever level. I know students are using it to do assignments, whatever. But there's more to artificial intelligence than what we are doing. So most of the capabilities is good for its own learning. Artificial intelligence systems improve over time by analyzing data and identifying patterns. So artificial intelligence has got what we call machine learning systems. It adapts. For those who have used Copilot, it's one of the very, very exciting Microsoft product that you can use for artificial intelligence. Go and just like, if you want to see your presence, because today's technology has moved to the level that if you want to search about me, you don't need to ask me. Go onto the internet. You see what I do, what I specialize in. That's all about technology today. So we are saying there are people who are thinking that technology is expensive. Please, indeed it's expensive. But the only thing that we can do is to adopt. Let's invest in technology. So another capability is it does reasoning. Artificial intelligence, it has got capacity to reason. So we are saying we are using a computer, but remember, this computer is using there are a lot of languages that are embedded in it. So it does reasoning. It learns procedures. That's why we are saying we can put if we had agreed, we can just say, oh man, I'm not coming for the presentation. I'm sending a machine which is going to be speaking to you. And you'll be responding to that and asking questions. That's where artificial intelligence level is at. So there's also has got perceptions, there's got also language understanding, autonomy. So we are saying most of the languages are now embedded in artificial intelligence. These are things that are so important for us to appreciate that where we are going in terms of business, entrepreneurship, we need not to depend on our traditional way of doing business. We need to know that at times there's that time that we spend doing researching. There's that time that we spend trying to read books. How many of us are still going to the library to read books? That was our norm. But we're saying artificial intelligence. My child is in grade 1 already. he was already starting to ask, Google, can you draw me a drum? Or not a drum, I don't know. That's a good one. But already, he's already using that. So we're saying smart technologies, that's where things are. Smart homes, where we're saying, Google, prepare food for me, tea for me. I did it. That's why we are also doing those solutions. Google, open curtains for me. That's what we're saying. You may need to, okay, that's what I'm saying. It's either you accept it or you resist. But as long as you resist, my friend, you are going to be found wanting. Because this thing is there to live. Already there are a lot of homes that we are doing that are already smart. Google, prepare SATA for me. Then Google is preparing SATA for someone. I'm not talking of something that isn't feeling. This is real. That's why we're saying artificial intelligence. Things are now real and are happening. And you don't need, that's why we are talking of smart homes. If you have a area of smart homes, smart plugs, everything has to be smart. Google, can I have the aircon on? Yes. He opens for you. Google, open the gate for me, he's opening for you. So we are saying that's how technology is. And as entrepreneurs now, we need to amass, we need to not consider it as an expense, but rather adopt and make sure that these things, imagine someone Google preparing food for you. Okay, another thing, Google sweep the house for me. Yes, it does, and it's, okay, it does it better than a human can. That's the thing now. So we are saying there are people who are going to lose jobs. There are people that in the same space, there are people who are going to make money using the same technology. So the idea is, you rather, if you are going to ignore it, you are going to lose your job. Imagine a maid who does prepare food for my son, who has to clean the house, and the house is smart. I don't need it anymore. But if that person is intelligent, she should then be able to adopt and say, what can I do to also be in a position to operate? She rather be in a position to operate those machines or repair, to make sure that at least she is available to then say, here duties will be saying, Google, can you do something for this stuff? But we are saying, this is where technology is, and we need to know that it's real and it's happening. I hope I still have got people here, and I hope I'm not frightening some people here. Are we still together? Yes. Right. Okay, so that's artificial intelligence for you. I will try to be as fast as possible for the sake of time. So in the real world applications, we are saying in finance, you can automated fraud detection, risk scoring, algorithmic trading. This is happening. We are saying in finance, artificial intelligence is now being used to detect risk in terms of fraud. Today, technology has moved to the level that through a system, okay, people are now stealing through systems, but because of artificial intelligence, it can detect if installed in your business, in your premise, whatever. You can be able to see footprints of who has got into the system. So we are saying this is the works of artificial intelligence. It can detect it. We are saying, like I just said, instead of putting a physical security guard there, in my system I'm replacing that person with a system that is embedded in my computer to say, when someone gets into my computer, it traces to say, who was the person who entered this password? Okay, after that, it can trace to see who finally maybe stole some money from the system. So that's what artificial intelligence is actually doing. And also in healthcare, diagnosis of diseases, we have already since moved to the level of. So we are saying some of the people who are practicing to be doctors, they need to appreciate that slowly they are being irrelevant in them. Some people don't want to hear that. I hope I'm not going to dismiss some people from school here. But what I'm saying is, yes, go and learn. But as you are learning, know that there is another system that can be better than you. Because you want to work from 8 to 5. But this thing is 24/7. Anytime talking to the doctor. I've got this problem. What could be the problem? That's the use of artificial intelligence. The next thing, okay, just imagine the situation. I'm talking to a doctor. Doctor, I'm having a problem. My back is for this sign, blah, 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 blah. Then the next thing, okay, can I have a screenshot, whatever? Then they say, okay, for this one, you need a cocodamo. The next thing, I'm calling the pharmacy. Pharmacist, this is the prescription. Can I have this medicine? And it's being delivered at my home, at my doorstep. So how many people, how many businesses have been removed from the system? Your commuter buses, your fuel guys. So we are saying technology is easing business, is making it very easy and that instant. So it's actually not supposed to be frightening us. These are the things that we need to embrace and start to say, in my own area, if I'm a scientist, if I'm a health practitioner, if I'm a politician, if I'm a finance person, what is it, if I'm an HR, what is it that I need to do to make sure that I use artificial intelligence for my benefit, for my work? Retail and commerce, supply chain, inventory management, predictive maintenance, customer service. Today there's issues of chatbots. How many of us are familiar with what is a chatbot? Right. So, all that we're saying, this is the level that we are at, to say, I don't need businesses to be 24/7. We need to be generating money 24/7. That's what we are saying. You are working from 8 to 5, but from 5 o'clock, you are closing business. But remember, we are not closing to eat. We still need money coming in. So we are saying, call centers, this is where also the call centers issues are coming to say, after 8 o'clock, you may need a physical person, but look, these physical people, they sleep in the night. But a system, a computer will never sleep. And also because we have created a global village, I'm in America, you are sleeping here, but I need to work with you, and I need to interact with you. Those times should not be found to say, okay, this one is sleeping, I need to reply your email maybe when it's already 8 o'clock. This is what technology is bringing, and we need to like it. I hope I'm still... So, by treating AI as a strategic enabler, as businesses, we need to appreciate that this transforms risk areas into sources of competitive advantage and unlock innovation. So we are saying, because we are replacing human beings with computers, there are some risks that are going to be removed or eradicated because we've introduced something that is efficient, something that works for us on our behalf, something that we can just input parameters to say, can you do this for me? And this thing is going to remove risks that are associated with failure in our businesses. So we are saying, as entrepreneurs, we want to know and aspire entrepreneurs to say, as long as we are going to run away from technology, we are going to miss it. Top of research and development, it's going to be easier to ask ChatGPT to say, can you find for me blah, 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 blah. I think all of us have done that, and it's one of the easiest ones. So we are saying, this tool, we need to like it, we need to love it, and utilize it rather, and to make sure that at whatever cost in our businesses or whatever we are doing, how best can I use artificial intelligence to replace the interference of a human being? I'm sure I'm done with artificial intelligence, but the beauty about this thing, like the pillars that I've talked about, you will find that artificial intelligence, you will find it in every thing. You find it, I'm going to talk about cloud computing, but you see a component of artificial intelligence coming in. I'll talk about cyber security. You see, still, so artificial intelligence is one of the game changer. That we need not to ignore. Now I will talk about cloud computing. This is one of the easiest, I think we are all familiar. Instead of running programs, okay, let me define it first. This is the delivery of computing services over the internet. That's how I define it. It's very simple. Delivery of computing services over the internet. That's including your servers, storage, databases, networking solutions, without owning or managing physical infrastructure. Okay, this is very key, and we want. I know most of us have used it, but maybe we used it unknowingly. So instead of running programs or storing data, cloud computing, what we are simply saying is we have moved to just confining ourselves to that office or to that space that we say our working space. Businesses is moved to say wherever you are, you should be able to produce a quotation. If you are to produce a quotation, wherever you are, you should be able to produce or to have a copy of your computer. I'll give you an example. I came with my 2 devices here. I was meant to project here, but as I was working on my presentation, a copy was sent to my mobile phone on cloud, right? This happens automatically using OneDrive. Those who are aware of OneDrive, I'm using Microsoft 365. So we are saying, as I'm working on my laptop, I've got a copy of my laptop here. What does that mean? If I lose, what we are emphasizing on is data is now becoming currency. What is critical on my machine is not the value of my laptop. It could be a very expensive laptop, but what is critical is I've used this laptop and I've accumulated data for over 20 years. No, I have not used this laptop for over 20 years, but there's data that is 20 years old. So that data is the currency. I've got proposals that are here. I've got invoices that may be requested by a customer maybe 5 years. But the moment I lose this laptop, what I've lost is not the value of the laptop, but the data that is residing in this laptop. So what we are simply saying is, I'm working on my machine. I have a copy of it elsewhere. When I discovered that maybe projection may be taking too long here, I decided to switch off this, and I'm already on my mobile device. This is how we are saying the convenience that has been brought by cloud computing to say, I'm not confined to a device, and I'm not confined to a laptop. I remember some years ago, I would ask my director to say, why do people come to work every day? Before COVID even came. And he said to me, he started to find excuses to say, I know there are people. Then I said, no, people are coming to work because they need internet. That's the most critical service that people are following. So if we make sure that everyone here has got internet service at home, let them work from home, please. You know, by that time I know I was trying to advocate for, I was doing a lot of consultants. So their work was disturbing me. I was the IT manager, so they wanted me every day. But so I was trying to create space for more time to do my side hustles. But it was making a lot of sense because the next, because I would see as people get into the office, the first thing that they're doing, they're on Facebook. They're checking. So this person, why do we need him at 8 o'clock every day and until 5 o'clock in our working? One, he's becoming a cost to the business. Because 8 o'clock to 20 past, they are on Facebook trying to check updates, whatever. The next thing they are getting into the next office, before you know it, it's already 10 o'clock. That person is not being productive. I experienced it in COVID period to say, I discovered that I worked more better and more productive because you'd work at 4 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, the next thing, so we are saying there are a lot of people who are, so we are saying cloud computing is removing the traditional way of doing business to say, at any period in time, I should be able to access my business. So some of the key features on cloud computing are on-demand access. You use resources whenever you need them. No upfront investment. What we are saying is, for anyone who is going to adopt cloud computing, I will give an example for Amazon, AWS, Amazon Web Services. There are some investments that we have made to say, I need a laptop. I will give an example for my laptop. It's a Core i7, 18th generation with 32 gig RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, all those resources. You'd find that it may be very expensive for someone who's just starting a business to say, I need to procure, because this laptop you are not going to get less than 1,000, right? But you need those resources. But with cloud computing now we are saying, instead of buying a laptop, you can buy space from the cloud. And you are buying space monthly, and on a monthly interval. So to say, you try that maybe the space that you may require only maybe $50 for you to do whatever you want to do. Let me further explain. So it is what we call pay as you go option. To say you don't necessarily need to, like I'll give also an experience to say, I may be using this heavy laptop, but even still underutilizing it. But with cloud computing, we are saying, 220 kilometers. And in Zimbabwe, where do you do 220? And maybe Bulawai Road, where you can maybe 220, 230. But we are underutilizing those must be 2 meters. That's what they're saying. Cloud computing is coming in to eliminate the discrepancies, to say, in as much as I may need 32 gig, but what do I need for? If I need to run a project that is lasting for 2 months, I buy as ICO. I buy this month. If I don't need it, I downgrade to my 4 gig, my 8 gig, that is comfortable. So we are saying there are options to say, I don't necessarily need to invest all my money into buying hardware. I hope I'm clear. So cloud computing is giving scalability. Okay? Scalability, what I mean is, my laptop is on 32 gig. What if I need to run an application that requires 64 gig? It means either I need to buy another chip that is 32 gig to make sure it's 64 gig. But what is happening in technology, at times it doesn't allow you to upgrade to 64 gig. So what it means, I need to throw this laptop away and buy a new one. This will experience in businesses. You see they want to upgrade laptops. But we are saying, if I'm doing work in the cloud, I don't need to buy, I'm just upgrading from the cloud to say, Amazon, ship about 32 gig of space on your cloud platform. Then you just, so it's scalable. You can even downgrade, upgrade. Unlike this physical or hardware, you are not going to do it successfully. It's going to cost you much, or else you are going to throw that machine away and put another investment to make sure that you do an upgrade. So that's another thing that is brought by cloud computing. Then also there's global reach. You can access services, I think we talked about it. Anyway, when I'm traveling, I don't carry a laptop. I just need my mobile phone, like I indicated. Gone are the days when you need to, as you go to big travel, put in my laptop. Gone are the days you just need, at times, you just need your mobile phone, and you are good to go. So that's why cloud computing is placing us, all of us, and it's actually the best place for us all. Because at times we have hassles to carry this, and it's more risky to carry a laptop. So there's also security and reliability. Just like we just spoke about, as people go onto the internet, as we develop the appetite to go onto the internet, there's also need for us to be secure. Most people, we've always had problems with government departments. They don't want to be on cloud. They feel information in. So I ask them, but your emails are getting to the cloud. So you think you're not safe by having a cloud server or having your systems or solutions being on cloud. But you still have your emails you are doing every day going on to the cloud. You are still using a Gmail. Gmail is a cloud platform. You are using Upload. It's still, as long as someone can still intercept. So we are saying it's high time we need to adopt a cloud solution. And I will talk about the real applications. I think we talked about startups. This is one of the best place for those people who are starting businesses, because you are not going to spend much of your money building up servers. Imagine someone starting a bank, they need a core banking system, they need, for the branch, they need computers. But we are saying, the moment you are starting to think cloud, you see yourself reducing your cost maybe 90%. So this is an ideal place to be. Enterprises, health, education, like we said, we discovered that remote learning is one of the things that is happening today. To say someone can be studying in America, but in Zimbabwe. These are the platforms that are being created by cloud computing. So we are saying there are real applications, good applications, that cloud computing is existing, and it is supposed to be our wish, or we need to be deliberate to adopt cloud computing. And this is the backbone of digital transformation, and this powers artificial intelligence and big data. So we are saying all this, we find that everything that we are going to talk about will also hinge to cloud computing, because for artificial intelligence to be working, it has to be on cloud. So this becomes also the foundation of, or the backbone of the digital transformation that we are talking about. Okay, so I will go to the third item, social media. I think this one we are familiar with. I will not need to spend much time on it, but I will talk about the positives and the effects, the positive and the negatives. I think we are all aware what is social media. We have used it. Someone, when they know, when they hear social media, they think of WhatsApp, they think of your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn. What are the effects or the advantages of using social media? When you are a startup, when you are running your business, there is the issue of marketing and branding, which is the key thing. I've always told people when I talk about social media, there are people who still want okay, if you want to see how powerful social media is, put a status on your mobile phone, count to 10 minutes and see how many people will viewed your status. This is how powerful social media can be. So we are saying if you are to be marketing or you want to make sure that your brand is visible, this is the place to be. But we still got problems with people who want to, okay, I wanted to say it in a, there are people who feel they use social media or the marketing part of it, putting their girlfriends, putting their whatever loved ones, their events, whatever. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but we are saying if you are to make money, you also, okay, it's also very important to know and understand the nature of your business. And see, as I am putting, how best can I make sure that people know about me? You also want to understand there are businesses that don't need to be on social media, right? There are businesses that, if you are a lawyer, you don't need to be advertising. It's given. And the most of my lawyers are not supposed to advertise. Is that true? Is that still the lawyers here? Yes. So we are saying, if you are a lawyer, we start to see you putting that it's already you are legally you are found on the wrong side. But we are saying, if you are selling, if you are someone like me who is selling a laptop, If I've got 600 people in my contacts, end of the day, I should try to say at least there should be 200 who would have seen that I'm doing laptops. How does that work for you? The next thing, maybe I may need a laptop 2 weeks after, or a month, or even a year after. But they will know me. Laptops, because they always see me advertising laptops. So we are saying social media is good for marketing and branding. I have seen it working. For your information, I think I've discovered much of our business grows. We opened a shop in town. We discovered that you will never see someone coming in, but it grows more on social media. Everyone who is buying from our shop, they are buying from the social media platforms. So we are saying social media is good for creating your brand and marketing. Then also customer service. This offers real-time service. Top of your Facebook, when someone is asking how much is chakat, there's instant, there's real-time. Right? There's news and awareness. Social media spreads information faster than anything else. This was used to we had the founder of one of the how many of us know of Kingdom Bank? If you want to see how old we are, Kingdom Bank. How many know Kingdom Bank? This is a sign that we want to see that we are old, Baba. Kingdom Bank. So we are saying, if you are to say we read the founder of Kingdom Bank for our workshop, if you want it to be moving faster than anything else, put it on social media. So we are saying this is a platform we can use it to make money, to even spread our news. But there are also, obviously, there are going to be negatives. We'll talk about the negatives. Customer engagement and loyalty, like we spoke about, customer service is faster and people can be loyal to you. Then there's also positives on cost effectiveness. This is going, you just need your bundle to be on internet first. And anything that is coming mostly is going to be for free. You have got your Facebook account, you're advertising for free. Yes, if you want it to reach more people, you are now sponsoring. So this is what we are saying. This is why we are saying social media is one of the fastest way of marketing. I'll give you an example. There's a time when we had a lot of salespeople in our office, but we started seeing that, but these people, what exactly are they doing? But the moment we started using or utilizing social media, we discovered that social media was giving us better results than giving people. So if you are doing sales and marketing here, you also want to understand that social media, the moment I learn it better than you, so what you need to leverage on is to make sure that as you do your sales and marketing, specialize in making sure that you know how to use social media to sell. Because as long as you want to use the traditional, yes, it works traditional, we also use it, there's also its own benefits. But if you are to reach more people, you want to be using the social media platforms. This also talks about sales and e-commerce integration platforms like Instagram, Facebook allow direct product sales, streamlining, and the customer journey. So we are saying you are better off and your sales are going to grow, or your business is going to be known, or your brand is going to be known better when you are on social media. I know, like we've always said, you need to be known of what you do in business. You need to be known of what you are doing. Because I would give Maputi to everyone. And surprisingly, I was using social media by then unknowingly, because I was not found distributing or going around with Maputi. I would place in someone's office, put a banner to say room number kat, there's Maputi. Right? Look at how we can be working smart. Gone are the days we need to work hard, we need to work smart. So we are saying technology is bringing us to say, in as much as you want to go to the office, but you can send your post in an hour's time, you've done all your socials, the next thing you are answering inquiries, and you're now starting to make money. Some people think that I'm just saying things that are not real. There are people who are, to those who know, you can put more money in social media and get the results. But there are also negatives in the social media, like we've just said. This has also brought in some reputation risk. So when you are on social media, you need to make sure that you behave. You need to make sure that you know what you are doing. If people complain about your service, it can be viral. And like you are a plumber, you fail to fix my toilet, then maybe then we leave it like that. But if it's on social media and you make a mistake, it goes viral and your reputation is on risk. And there's also issues to do with high competition for attention. So when you want to exist on social media, you want to have consistency on posting, number one, and also you need also to be innovative enough. Like we talk about, when you are an entrepreneur, you cannot be an entrepreneur if you are not an innovator. By the way, I'm also a coach in entrepreneurship. We say when in an entrepreneur, there's a difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur brings innovation. If you are just copying someone's business and pasting without editing, you are just a business person. But an entrepreneur brings innovation. So we are saying, even on social media, you also want to bring innovation. It's not just about posting, but posting with innovation. Something that brings attention to people to say, let me follow this person. Let me see what are they selling. And ultimately, you start to make sales from that. So you cannot just be posting, you also need to be strategic in terms of what you are doing. There's also issues to do with time and resources. This requires time, and at some point you actually require someone who is dedicated in making sure that you post. Imagine, you post an advert, then the next thing you're offline. And already inquiries are coming in. How much is this? And no answer. How much is this? You frustrate people, and people will disappear. So we are saying it requires someone who is dedicated to attending and even tools to use to make sure that you have got the results that you need. There's also issues to do with privacy and security concerns, like we've just said. In this space, you need to know and appreciate that privacy is a bit tricky. These are some of the negatives. Your life is going to be known by people. Your business, your strategies are going to be known by your competition. So whatever you are selling, even if you are going to put a price, the next shop they know, they are selling at 450, so make it 420. So you need to know these are some of the negatives. The other one is, which is always difficult, is measuring ROI, your return on investment. It's one of the things that are so difficult to do, to say, I put $100 for my social media, to say you've sponsored pages, whatever. But it's always very difficult to measure, to say, is there a return on the investment that I've made? But what I've always told people to say is, when you are doing marketing, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult to then say, taenda ku expo, sakatawana ma customers mangani. You have just tell yourself that you are going to do that to make sure that your brand is visible. So we are saying, to answer this as a negative, just tell yourself that yes, I need the return, but there's also the return that is associated with people knowing your brand. So there's also pressure to stay trendy. Like I said, when you have posted something, there are a lot of things that are trending. if you've seen church is known by social media church, the church. So you also want to appreciate that when you are on social media, you don't want to be seen posting something that has been trending 2 weeks ago, and that is the way thing that you are doing. So you want also to be trendy. So there's need for someone to be trendy, to be very much up to date with what is happening in the. So my strategic takeaway for social media as I close this one, social media is not just a marketing tool, it is a strategic asset rather. It is a strategic asset. When used wisely, it can drive growth, deepen customer relationship, and future-proof of your brand. So we are saying social media is not just a marketing tool, but this is the game changer. For those who do strategic planning, this is the strategy that you need to use to make sure that we attain the required targets or what we require as a business. But it requires thoughtful planning, consistent engagement, and a clear understanding of both its power and pitfalls. Like we indicated that it is also its own pitfalls. Are we still together? Right. So I think we were talking about social media. I will not do data analytics today because of time. I will go straight to one of my favorite space, that is cybersecurity. As I close the presentation, why and what is cybersecurity? I will define it. This is defined as the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. If you go to any business today, if you go to any office, most of the businesses, you see IT people. This is one of an area that I'm also moving with governance to say IT is always put under finance department. To those who have been in the business space, it's always put under finance or procurement. You don't see an IT person in our nation. Mostly, you don't see most of the IT people sitting at board level. You don't see IT people being a CEO of an organization. I think I'm one of the few IT people who are sitting on a board. Very few of us. But things should now change. You don't see IT people participating in making strategies for an organization. But all this we are talking about is IT. This is where we are falling. This is where when I talk about this, I find it because, okay, if I go to the CEO and tell them that we need to go onto the cloud, as long as he is not IT, because I will need more money, I will need a lot of money to invest in that. But the CEO of our organization is into construction. The next questions are, what is that is bringing? But we are saying our mindset has to change now to say, this is the business enabler. We don't need you as CEO, we need the IT. Let the IT now work for us. Because we are saying if we've got artificial intelligence doing better than a human being, why do we need the CEO? I'm challenging you. There are a lot of positions, I will tell you, you see as years go, there are a lot of people who are going to be obsolete and they are going to be found nowhere. Because this thing is changing the game and is changing it for good. So we are saying at our levels, let's start to appreciate and adopt technology and be serious about it. So the importance of cybersecurity, like we've just indicated, this safeguards sensitive information and maintains the integrity of our systems. Why cybersecurity matters? There's an increase in threats, which impacts on organizations. Okay, all what we've just said and talked about it accumulates to the appetite of an individual to be on internet. As we speak right now, everyone here is connected somehow. Say that you are connected using your WhatsApp, or you are can do Facebook, you can do your Twitter. But now what we are saying is, the moment we increase the need to be on internet, the more we are also increasing the risk of cyber issues. Cyberspace is growing, and it's very much unfortunate that people don't disclose, and organizations are not disclosing that we've been attacked. You need to know this. If I'm going to list for you how many organizations have been attacked for the first quarter, you'll be surprised. But that's confidential. What we are saying is, organizations are being attacked every other day. Because you are coming into the organization, like we have said, when you come to the office, you intend to do business. But before you start business, you are on Facebook. But as you go onto the Facebook, you start to click on those illicit, whatever platforms, and the next thing you are installing ransomware, you are installing threats onto the systems. Already the organization is quite vulnerable. So what we are saying is, the moment we are increasing the need or the appetite for internet usage, there's also the need, there's also that increase in terms of threats that are being associated with the organization. So I will quickly talk about the common types of cyber threats. We have heard of malware, we have heard of phishing, ransomware, social engineering, denial of service, man in the middle, web application threats. I will try to summarize. This is a bit technical, but what we are simply saying is, you have heard of malvirus, right? You have heard of phishing, you could have heard of social engineering. So we are saying, it is very important. Now you have structured your business or your devices. You cannot run a machine without an antivirus. I know most of us, we feel we are safe because we have been doing it for the past 2 years. But we are saying, it takes a day for you to lose your data. I will explain as we go. So some of the principles of cyber security, we are talking of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What do we mean? We want your data to be confidential. I told you that I'm an ethical hacker. I'm allowed to hack ethically, right? So we are saying, your data, as long as your data is in your machine, we need it to be confidential. You could be holding, she could be a lawyer. Some cases are in a laptop. They are not supposed to be given to the next person. So cyber security is coming to say, we need your data to be confidential. Number one, we need your data to be available. The moment when someone hacks your system, imagine a hospital being hacked and all hospital records have gone. No data is available. Apana suspect don't echo ever this year. So we are saying there's no available service. We want to do our application, we cannot transact. This is where cyber issues are, and that's how serious are. And also, there's also data integrity. We still need our data to be as it is, or as it was. To say, if I got my document, I don't need it. I still need to find it as original as it is. That's integrity. I'll quickly talk about basic cyber hygiene. I've called it hygiene. So when we are on internet, we want also to maintain some hygiene practices, right? Number one, we'll talk about passwords. It is very important to. Some people think it makes life easy for them not to have a password on their laptop. Because you just say enter, then it's faster. Right? It's faster, that's what it is. But always maintain passwords and make them strong. Don't make a password, your name be your password, or your son's name be a password. You are putting yourself at a risk. If you are going to consider doing that, start to put some special characters and so that at least it doesn't become easy for people like us to hack your system or your solution. Because any other hacker will start with those easy passwords, right? So let them be complex, right? Also, number 2, regular software updates. Our phones are always updating. Let's appreciate that. I know some people don't want it updated because they feel it exhausts their data. Data will appear and update, data will replace update. That update is very important. In IT, we call them patches or fixes, right? Any other application like your Microsoft, your Android, at any given time, they produce updates. Those updates are meant to be your pages. Okay, let's talk it in my pages for us to understand it. Mapoto, Rodigana Mapoto, those guys, they come to put pages. What they've identified, there's a risk here. So your software vendor, they produce the software, but they continue doing upgrades or updates after they realize that there is now a vulnerability or a system glitch. But now you stop that update to run. You feel it's very expensive. But what is more expensive is to block that update. Let it finish. Make sure that you are always up to date with all updates, because that is going to make you more safe. Because it is also associated with a security risk that is associated with that. So we are saying, whenever we see a release or an update that is coming on my device or my laptop, let's make sure that we make it complete. Then we are still talking about hygiene. Use of two-factor authentication. Those who work with the banking system, this is more common. Before someone acknowledges that you are the person, there should be a two-way authentication to say, when I go to my banking, my online banking, there should be that OTP password, one-time password, that should come to my device. What does it help? It helps to authenticate that I'm the person, because it comes to my mobile phone. Imagine, I've just opened my laptop. Most of us, we save passwords. We log onto a machine or a system, we save passwords because it's easier for us. We don't want to create passwords, right? But now, the risk that is associated with that is I come, if I don't have a two-way authentication, I just go onto the platform and just say log in. The next thing I'm into your system. I've seen many people, when they log on to Facebook, they just leave it logged in. They log into their email, they leave it logged in. The risk that is associated with that is anyone else can access your systems. So we are saying it's very important to make sure that we tread carefully with passwords. Number 4, be cautious online. Think before clicking. This is very important. Think before clicking. Whenever you are on internet, in life is on internet. Whatever you are clicking is got a repercussion. Some people, I've seen a lot of people, they just want to click, but at times, okay, internet now, at times, have you ever seen when you are just on internet, something just pops up as you will be working on something. But interestingly, someone wants to see, what is it? Then, okay, unknowingly, maybe that thing disappears, then you think it's gone. But as you click that, in the background, it could be installing something. Then the next thing, we have seen a certain organization, I will not talk about it, it's actually listed on the stock exchange. That's the amazing thing. They lost money by someone just clicking on something and it is installed. Because someone has installed an application, the next thing they're fetching your password. That's how hacking happens. We have installed that application unknowingly, or you've just clicked unknowingly. The next thing is installed on the machine or on your phone. The next thing what happens, whatever you are doing is observing you and learning you. Remember, the artificial intelligence that we talked about, it also applies in the hacking system or setup. So someone is watching you unknowingly and it's tracing you, okay, this is this password, this is how they enter their banking system. Then the next thing you are told, all the money that is in the account is gone. Or have you ever heard of ransomware? You have heard of ransomware, right? The next thing you are told, give us 1 million for us to give you your data. Because they encrypted the data. A ransomware, what they do is, they encrypt your data, then the next thing they tell you, if you need your data, give us 1 million. If you don't give them 1 million, your data is gone. But because you need it, you are an insurance company, you are holding someone's data, you cannot go to someone and say your data is gone, because it means you are also going to lose business. But people will end up paying ransom. Because they are making you are kept at ransom. That's how it goes. It's called ransomware. So we are saying, as we said on, let us be cautious as we click, as we make any other movement on our internet. We talk about regular backups. This is very critical. We talked about cloud. There are a lot of cloud solutions you can do backup. It's very important to have a copy of everything that you have in terms of your information stored elsewhere. Right? Are we still together? So this is basically, I think I will try to rush because of time. I think we talked about passwords. So we are saying, if you are not good at passwords, they are also you can actually use what we call password managers. It's actually a solution where you can then keep your passwords to say, instead of you remembering or memorizing passwords, you can use a password manager. That can also help you to make sure that you have got the right passwords all the time. So I also want to highlight the issues to do with our Wi-Fi. I know how many people have had a situation where you see people just seated at the Jurao and they think that they are meditating. Huh? You have seen people, I think people are concentrating, and these people are so busy. So we are saying, it's to your best interest to know who is connected to your Wi-Fi. And there are a lot of things that you can do about it. Number one, you can hide your SSID to make sure that they don't see it. What we call is the SSID. If the name that you give to your Wi-Fi, to say if it's Tafron Technologies, you put a name. I was shocked this other day when I went to when just put our Starlink at our office. I just opened to see who is accessing. The number of people that are in our office, I think with more, I saw 80 people connected to that too. But in our office there are 15. You see? So we are saying we think we are safe, but we are not safe. Before it was very easy. It was difficult to share a password because you then need to go to the laptop and check. But today people are just scanning. The moment I share with my elder my password, the next thing is just scanning. And you know, it's very easy. I don't know how people end up sharing passwords. It's that easy. So we are saying the best way of doing it, you hide the SSID. That name, let not deceive. Number one. Number two, you can use what you call, you can then register what you call MAC addresses. Every device, electronic device that connects to the network is got what you call a MAC address. So you make sure that you only accept or you add the MAC addresses of your devices that you want accessing your network. Meaning that anyone else who comes in, they're blocked. You know, when I found that this is what is happening, what I just did, I made sure that I blocked everyone, made sure that we added the MAC addresses. Then I woke up in the morning to just see, because I started seeing some trends of people who were sitting, and I was just peeping through the window and see, look at what people are doing. And so they cannot ask you to say, can you get new password? But that's what people are struggling now. They cannot, okay, when we walk out of the office, you will see, this person has got something to say, but they cannot say it now. They say, password, but they're saying these are the things that we need to utilize and make sure that we are safe. So this is, I'm talking about SSID, MAC addresses, continuously changing the password. It's not good behavior to have one password, lifetime password. There's no lifetime password, right? Let's change our password. Let's make it a habit of changing passwords. Let's mix combinations. It helps us to be safe when we trade onto the internet. So I think I've spoken much. And now, most importantly, there's now, I think we've heard of a Data Protection Act that has just come out, which is one of the most important things that we need also to know. I know it's still in its early stages, but it's very important as entrepreneurs, as graduates, to say it's not every information. There's now guidelines on how we should be trading on internet. And like I've just said, cybersecurity is not as we thought before. It's now becoming one of the things that can. It says that it builds your business or it destroys your business. So as long as you are going to ignore it, you are going to be exposed. As you are going to be exposed, you are going to lose. And at times you lose money, at times you lose reputation, as you spoke about. So it's very important for us to like it, to enjoy it, and to adopt it. Thank you so much.
We can all take our seats. I would like to thank Mr. Mautsa, the certified ethical worker, for the information and the learning process. So for this time, I'm going to leave 5 minutes for questions. 5 minutes for questions. Only 5 minutes. We don't have much time. Okay, so to Mr. Mautsa, this is the question that is going to you from the MC. You said you were a trader during your biography. Was listening actively. What kind of trading were you in? Was due to nowadays there's forex trading, so I really want you to specify on that.
Sorry, can I have the question again? You said I was a trader. I don't remember. I was selling my goods.
Due to our generation of technology, when you say trading, we usually tend to mean forex trading. So I didn't understand that my booty was the trading. Now I get it. So if there are no questions, are there any questions? Okay, my brother.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courteney. So I do have a question. I want to know, Kuti, how important is one's digital footprint as far as their activity online is concerned, and how does it affect their job opportunities maybe in the future, looking at, some employers that are looking into that, and maybe as far as when you want to do your travels, to go outside there, because our world so far, it has tended to be quite digital in almost everything. So the question is, how important is one's digital footprint, their activity online, and how does it affect their engagements in life generally? Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing that. I think I left that out because of time. So we are saying it is very important for you to have your digital footprints clear and straightforward to say, as a professional, you cannot tell me that you don't have a LinkedIn account here. As a student, how many have? One? Okay. So we are saying, any other employer today, when you get those CVs, social media is one of the places that you want to try and see lifestyle, audit, whatever, how this person, it's very important to say, like I said, you also want to say, in your profession, if you're an IT person, also be an IT person. Be found posting some IT work or whatever your reputation. So we are saying it's very important to have your footprints clear and make sure that you are, whatever you are posting on social media, it has got an effect to being or maybe an employer. You talked about, remember IT building a global village. Some people, I experienced nearly every other day to say, you see someone saying, calling you from America to say, we are selling this product, can we be partners? Where are they getting that information from? From the internet. So we are saying it also creates opportunities besides just business, but also work opportunities to say, if your CV is clear and your LinkedIn account is up to date, this is also a place where people are using to look or to identify employees. So you need to be clear with your footprints, yes.
One last question.
Thank you. Mr. Mautsa, I would love to ask you, mentioned about the implications of cybersecurity issues. So I wanted to find out how safe it is to accept having a Google suggested strong password. I wanted to ask if it's safe. For me, for example, I'm trying to log into probably another system, maybe it's Databricks, for example. I'm trying to access some information from there, but then as I try to create an account, it then suggests a strong password because probably I was going to come up with a weaker password, but then how safe is it to actually adopt that strong password that is suggested by Google?
Yeah, I can say Google has made it easy for everyone, and for me that's one of the strongest passwords. But the challenge with that one, you never remember it if you are not going to copy it. That's why most of us then avoid it. But it's one of the strongest and one of the safest places. But why people avoid it is because you won't be able to, because they will give you all numbers, like alphabetical. It doesn't make sense to, especially when you want to recall or whatever. But actually, that's one of the safest places to be.
Okay. That's the last question.
So, Mr. Mautsa, my question is coming from an IT person. I'm an undergraduate doing information systems at Midland State University. So my question is, I've just finished my internship period going into 4-1, and I've been in the field and in the industry. So from someone like you who's been an entrepreneur at the same time an IT person, what would you recommend doing first? Going into certificates, but these certificates, they are costly, probably $300 upwards, the Cisco certificates, or using that $300 to start a business. What would you recommend?
Right. Yeah, it's a good one, which is a tricky one also, but it depends. If you may find a situation where you may then invest the $300 and make a loss. So we are saying you need to make sure that you play your cards very well. After investing the $300, you may find maybe after 6 months you can pay your certifications, whatever. But what is important is, first, as you are running your business, okay, there are things that you need to do. If the business requires you to have a certification, get the certification first and go to the business. Why? Because as you go to execute, that certification may be required. So you want to ask yourself, why do I need the certification? I'll give you an example. I've done a lot of certifications myself. Some of them I didn't even record them here. While I was doing them, I didn't even want to certify. While I was doing them, I would go to class to make sure that I see opportunities that are associated with doing that certification. I remember this is the certification that I did. It was, I think, I spent 8 days going there every day. And the guy who was teaching me, I think he gave everyone time to say, what are your expectations after this course? Then I say to him, I want to see where the money is after this course. So everyone said, what is this guy saying? So that lecturer looked for me after the lecture saying, every day I will buy you lunch. And because you have said something that others have never said and I never thought of. And for your information, that guy ended up being one of my employees. Because he said, you know what? People are going to school for the wrong reason. They want the paper. They don't want the knowledge. They are not applying. Because what I will do is, when I'm in the lecture, I will make sure that I write opportunities to say, okay, this concept that he's saying, I can apply to this organization. Then already the next morning I'm calling that organization with confidence because I already have the knowledge. I can now sell the product or the solution. So we are saying, if you have to have that information to make money, go for the certification. At times you don't need to certify, at times you just need to be in class. There are a lot of people who are having papers hanging, but they're not making use of it. They're not making money out of it. So it doesn't make sense. Thank you.